Hello, and welcome to the very first Franchise Frights podcast bonus episode.
It's a bonus.
Yeah, we decided to give you more content. Because we're content creators.
No.
This is kind of an informal episode. We're just going to run down our favorite and not favorite things about the first 10 movies that we watched and reviewed.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe a little look forward to the next 10 movies.
Yes.
So, what do you think? Should we start with our scores?
Yeah, go ahead and start with the scores.
Okay. So, tied for first place, we had Halloween and Scream both receiving a perfect 10 out of 10.
Which is believable.
Yes. Considering that on our logo, you are dressed as Tatum from Scream and I am dressed as Michael. For number 3, we have Night of the Living Dead and Paranormal Activity with 8.5 out of 10.
Ooh.
I'm surprised Paranormal Activity got that high.
Yeah.
But it's good.
Yeah, we both like it.
So now we go down to the 5th place spot, which is another tie.
Really?
Yes. And we have Saw and Final Destination both with a 7.5.
We rated movies a lot higher than I thought we did.
Yeah. So now coming in at number 7 was A Nightmare on Elm Street at 7 out of 10. If you would have told me that in our first 10, Nightmare on Elm Street would come in 7th, I would have been like, you're crazy. You're a kook. We have another tie for number 8.
Oh.
With Friday the 13th and Child's Play both receiving a 5 out of 10.
Okay.
And then down at number 10, sitting all by its lonesome,
where it should be,
The Nun with a 3 out of 10.
Yeah.
I'm surprised it got a 3.
We'll wait for The Nun too.
Oh, God. Can we go negative?
I think so. I think on that one we will be allowed to.
All right. What next?
What was your best kill?
Oh, Kevin Bacon's arrow through the throat in Friday the 13th.
That's what I had too. I said, but Todd's death from Final Destination is also, it's pretty rough.
I gave honorable mentions to Bob's door stab in Halloween,
Mm-hmm.
Todd's strangulation in Final Destination, Tina being dragged across the ceiling in Nightmare, and Helen's trowel kill in Night of the Living Dead.
That's a rough one, yeah. I said that I also like Johnny Depp's kill from Nightmare. Because I like how he gets sucked into the bed and then there's just like a blood geyser.
Yes.
It's fun.
It's the Old Faithful of Glen Blood.
Yes. What's the worst kill?
This is kind of a tie for me with Maggie from Child's Play.
Uh-huh.
And all of the off-screen kills in Friday the 13th.
Okay. I put Maggie's my number 1 because her flying back 10 feet and then crashing into everything and still managing to fall out the window.
Yeah. There was a whole table and chairs there.
Yeah.
There were all those flower pot planter thingies in front of the window.
Yes.
And somehow she managed to stumble back through that big-ass kitchen.
Yeah.
And still fall out the window.
Well, and it's like, even if she had stumbled into the window, she wouldn't have had enough momentum at that point to break the window.
No.
She would have been stopped by the window.
Totally non-believable.
I also put Mika in Paranormal Activity, just because we didn't get to see what happened to him.
Yeah.
And all the nuns in The Nun, because were they dead the whole time? I'm still confused by this movie.
I think it was one of those movies where they're like, horror movie audiences don't think.
Apparently.
Because they really didn't think we were going to think.
No.
And I think that they thought wrong.
I think that they think that we think.
Yes. What do you think the best villain is?
Michael, by far.
I have a tie.
Do you?
The Shape and Jigsaw.
Oh.
Because watching the first Saw movie, I just want more Jigsaw.
That's true.
Like the whole time I was watching it, the first time and every time since, I'm like, could really go for some more of that guy.
Yeah. I like Michael's walk. Like, he's just always like stalking.
Yes.
And he's just brutal.
And he seems so predatory.
Yeah. Like, he's on a mission.
Yeah.
And that mission is to kill Lori.
And every time you look at him, you're just like, something's not right with that boy.
Yeah. I also think Valak is really fucking scary.
Yes. But
the movie sucked, but Valak is scary.
Yeah. I would agree with Valak being an honorable mention.
Yeah.
Worst villain.
Chucky.
No.
I'm sorry, but if I can just like punch you across the room, I'm not scared of you.
I say Mrs. Voorhees in Friday the 13th. And I gave an honorable mention to the Abbess from The Nun.
Yeah.
Because it was just an old lady going, "Why are you here?"
Yeah. And her face was just covered and you never saw anything. And
yeah. Just, God, that was a bad movie.
Mm-hmm.
Best score? Do we even need to say it?
Halloween.
By
far. It's definitely the most memorable. And it's simple, but it conveys urgency.
Yes. It makes the anxiety bubble up in you.
Yes. It makes you uncomfortable.
And every time it's played, I feel like you can still feel it.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you just hear that as like somebody's ringtone on their phone back in the day.
It puts
like,
your teeth on edge.
Yeah.
Like, you're just like, ugh.
Yeah. So good.
What's your favorite scene?
I think this was really hard for me.
Really?
I'm going to say Tina's dream and murder in the original Nightmare.
Okay.
Because it just builds and builds and builds.
Mm-hmm.
And just when you think it can't get scarier, like, oh, she's up in the air and she's getting dragged across the ceiling.
And then it's just terrifying. I put the kitchen scene from Scream.
Oh, that's so good.
I just love it. Like, from there on out, that part of the movie is just completely quotable. And
yeah,
it's just awesome.
And Matthew Lillard at his finest.
Yeah. You get Stu breaking down. Billy's fucking losing his shit. Sid's doing bad bitch stuff. Like, it's perfect.
I also gave an honorable mention because I can't just pick one thing.
And I didn't for a lot of these.
I gave an honorable mention to the plane crash. Well, plane explosion in Final Destination.
Yeah.
Just because it's so chaotic.
Uh-huh.
There's so much happening all at once and you're trying to take it all in, and just the second you process one thing, you're like, oh God, now this is happening.
Yeah. And then all of a sudden it's like, oh, surprise, that didn't really happen.
Yeah. And you're like, oh, he's just sweaty.
He's so sweaty.
He was so sweaty. Like he could have been in Top Gun.
Yeah.
Best acting.
I put Katie from Paranormal Activity.
Paranormal. I didn't even think of her.
Really?
But yeah.
She acted her ass off in that movie. Like, she made you believe that she was terrified.
Yes.
And like when she's like, not even when she's scared, but when she's like hyperventilating about things, it's just like, it makes you feel trapped in your body. Like,
and when she's pleading with Mika,
yes,
when she's like, please, please, please,
she's very believable.
Yeah, I said Neve Campbell in Scream because I really like how her character stutters through things when she's getting ready to go out on the front porch, and she, so where are you then?
Yeah,
and I like how her face shows that, like, okay, I'm trying to keep my cool, trying to work things out. Oh my God, this is scary.
Yeah.
I also gave an honorable mention to Dwayne Jones.
Me too.
Because, wow.
That's Ben from Night of the Living Dead.
Yes.
For those that don't know actors' names.
He tore it up.
Yeah, he was awesome.
Worst acting.
I put the girls from the bathroom in Scream.
That is...
They're terrible.
Yeah.
And then I also put the entire cast of Friday the 13th.
Okay. Worst acting for me was Judith O'Dea in Night of the Living Dead.
Okay.
Honorable mention to the entire cast of Friday the 13th.
Yeah.
But only sometimes.
The majority of the time.
Because sometimes they did really good things, like Marcy telling about her dream.
Yeah.
She was really good there.
Yeah. But overall, it was just a flop.
Yeah.
Like, MILF can't act through the entire thing.
No. And the lead actress in the movie, she fluctuates so wildly.
Yes.
And boy, it really takes you out of it.
Yeah.
Scariest setting.
I put the bathroom from Saw.
Ugh.
Not because it's like scary, but it's just so filthy and disgusting, and it still haunts me.
And you can taste it.
It's just gross.
I can taste that room in the back of my throat.
Sorry.
Would you quit hitting the damn microphone?
I just get so excited and I start flailing around and then things happen. But I also put Friday the 13th as my second because the woods are fucking scary.
Yes.
And then just like being in an abandoned camp, like a place that should have people in it but doesn't.
And the cabins are all so spaced out.
Yes.
And it just feels like no matter where you go, you're just fucked.
Yeah.
I said the summer camp from Friday the 13th. I split my next one into 2.
Okay.
The next one is the what the fuck moment
Yeah.
of the 10 movies. I split it into what the fuck in a good way
Okay.
and what the fuck in a
Yeah.
bad way. So my good way was Katie being dragged out of bed in Paranormal Activity. Because the first time I saw that, I was like,
what the fuck is that?
she's full on dragged out of the bed.
Yeah.
By a demon. Down the hall. She's screaming. What?
Have you seen any documentaries about that movie? Like, how did they do that?
I don't know. I haven't seen anything on it. I should look that up tonight.
I know, especially when you think about, like, what their budget was. Like, how did they pull that off?
I wonder if it was, like, green screen and they just had somebody, like...
Polar?
Like, dressed in, like, a green suit.
Yeah. Maybe. I don't know. What's your bad one?
My bad one is people wearing shoes in bed.
That happened so many times.
At least 3.
At least 3, if not 4.
I'm like, no. I don't wear shoes in my house.
No.
Let alone in bed.
Do you know what you track through on a day-to-day basis?
Like, if you go into a public restroom with those shoes on and now you're laying on your bed.
Yeah.
Ew.
People's piss and shits on your sheets.
That's so gross.
It's gross. I put the whole movie of The Nun.
Yeah?
Why did you make it? And then, kind of in the same area that you did, I did also put all of the death traps from Saw because, like, they're so intricate and terrifying.
And what kind of mind comes up with these things?
Yeah, that's what you're like. Every time you see another, like, do they call it a game?
Yeah.
I don't know. It's like, who comes up with this? Who has this in their mind?
I'm going to cover this guy in flammable jizz and then tell him, oh yeah, the combination to the safe, it's on the wall.
Somewhere. But I also put another million numbers on the wall.
Oh, and also the only way for you to have light is a candle and you're covered in flammable jizz.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's fucked up.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so out of all 10 movies that we watched, who are you?
I couldn't come up with a person for me.
I came up with Lori for you.
Really?
You're smart. You'll freeze up in a fight, but you're still going to come out on top. You're going to make some bad decisions, but that's okay because you're badass.
Okay. I would agree with that. I was going to go Lori or Sydney, but then I was like, that just seems like too easy.
Who am I?
Randy.
Yep, that's what I said. I said, I am Randy without question.
I put Kam as Randy from Scream. Easy. The character was written about him. Snarky, movie obsessed, desperately wants to get with Sid.
I didn't even think about that part. Oh my gosh, we're almost done with the bonus episode already.
I know, it's fast.
What are you most looking forward to out of the next 10?
I really, really like Scream 2, which I know I probably shouldn't because it's not the best movie. I'm not really looking forward to Dawn of the Dead.
What?
I know.
Mandolin.
I know, it's not great. And I'm also very nervous for Saw 2 because I know it's just going to keep getting worse and worse as we go.
Oh boy, does it.
And I'm not prepared.
Saw 2 has the needle pit.
Yeah.
So the next 10 movies we're going to watch are Halloween 2, Friday the 13th, Part 2, Saw 2, Nightmare on Elm Street, Part 2, Annabelle Creation, Child's Play 2, Dawn of the Dead, Paranormal Activity 2, Scream 2, and Final Destination 2.
Mm-hmm.
So the direct sequels.
Of all of the movies we just watched.
Yes.
It's funny how that works out.
The one I am most looking forward to is Saw 2. Because...
You want to see my reaction to it?
I want to see your reaction to it, but I also just love that movie.
Really?
And as far as horror movie sequels go,
Mm-hmm.
I really think it might be in like the upper echelon of the first sequel after a big horror movie.
Really? That'll be interesting.
I am least looking forward to Friday the 13th Part 2.
Oh boy.
I mean, it's not bad. It's not good.
Yeah.
But by the end of it, I'm just like, I'm done with this movie. But the movie's not done with me yet.
It's not.
No.
I forgot Paranormal Activity 2 was on that list too.
That movie scared the shit out of you in the theater. I have never seen you just... Well, no, because you did it at The Grudge also, I think.
Yeah.
It was either The Grudge or The Ring.
I think it was The Grudge.
You leaned over and you're like, I want to go.
Yeah. It doesn't happen very often.
No.
It never happens at home. If I'm at home, I feel safe.
Yeah.
If I'm at a theater, I don't.
Oh, I imagine if we had seen Talk to Me in the theater...
Oh, no.
Like the scene where the kid's bashing his head on everything, I think
would've
you would have
left.
been like, can we leave?
Yeah.
You can take your popcorn home, Cam.
We'll rent it on video tonight. Not video, because we're not that old.
VOD.
VOD. Well,
So,
that was fast and easy.
yeah. Just like me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess that's all.
Yeah.
So go check out our website.
www.franchisefrightspodcast.com.
And there you can link to all of our socials. You can see all of the places where our podcast is available, just in case you feel like switching apps.
And you can see pretty pictures of us.
Yes.
Yeah.
I can't think of anything else.
That's it.
So tune in on Thursday, which 3 days from now.
Yeah.
And we're going to bring you Halloween 2, more of the night he came home.
Oh.
He came home. Oh, I kicked things.
Good job.
So, until Thursday, remember they always come back.
That was a fast one.